Hi everybody, my name is Brett Geshros and I'm here with Faces of Compassion Blog Show. And again, I want to thank all my viewers for being on this weekly segment each week. And before I get to my guest, just want to thank all my viewers for watching all my stories on Faces of Compassion and the love of the hearts of the many people that I have interviewed this far. And I have a very special guest that I want to introduce, and her name is Miss T. And thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
I'm honored that you all are here watching, and I'll be able to share with you some sacred things dear to my heart.
Excellent.
Brett calls me Miss T. My name is TaChunda Burks, for those of you who I don't teach. I'm an instructor here at SWIHA. I also have my own business, Road to Damascus, a behavioral consulting. And Brett has asked me what my passion was. And so I must say that my passion is helping people to become aware that we need to renew our minds daily.
Yes.
I come from a place of, I'll say, self-sabotage as a result of being abused. Was molested as a child. As a teenager, went straight into the Army after high school, suffered from military sexual trauma, came out, 3 abusive marriages that I was divorced from. And after the last marriage, I just began to take some counseling, just doing an observation and an assessment of who am I and what is going on in my life and why are these things happening to me. And so what I found out through spiritual counseling and formal regular counseling as well is that you begin to develop a social roadmap as a child, depending on what's been poured into you. And so when the abuse started, the physical, the verbal, the abuse started then, I began to lose pieces of me then, not knowing. And a lot of us, we become adults and we've lost so much of ourselves that we don't recognize that we are the saboteurs. We are the ones sabotaging our own lives. Yep. So you begin to take on this mindset that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you don't look good enough, life is going to always give you the short hand of the stick, right. All these negative emotions and just a poor perception of life, period. And so the change happened when I really began to embrace the principles that I was learning from the Bible. I'm wonderfully and fearfully made by God. Yes. He's created every last one of us in His image. That means that we're all equally important. We all have a purpose here, and it's important that we stay in our lane of purpose. Don't allow anyone to throw their purpose on you or what their view of life is for you. And then at the same token, don't you willfully take on what other people say you are when it doesn't agree with what goes on inside. So during this assessment and finding out who I am, I begin to develop a passion to help others. Yes. And so I really work with just the general public, but primarily those who have been abused. Any type of abuse, you already come in with that type of mindset, and I recognize it right off rip. Sure. And then we begin to work then. Who are you? Who do you see you are? The Bible talks about writing a vision and making it plain. And so you have to go inside. I'm sure you guys have heard of vision boards. You have to go inside and spend some quiet time with yourself and with the Holy Spirit and allow Him to show you who you are. These aren't just visions that people, I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer. No, these are things that are buried within that when you spend that quiet time, these things begin to show up, and then you write them down or paint them or color them or, cut out magazines of what you see, and then you embrace that and become who you are. That's truly who you are. And primarily that's the story of my passion. I'll give him a chance to say something.
Well, I think it's just really interesting. I heard your passion when you were speaking, but I've really heard your authenticity. You're really brave and you're really able to share and give examples with your own experience. And I know for myself personally, besides doing this blog show, I actually do love coaching. And myself, personally, I've experienced abuse and sexual abuse. And I know that as we grow as people and as individuals, and we own our own story, and that's what I hear in what you've done, we can actually be an example. And you demonstrated really powerfully of being authentic and finding what our passion is and what our calling is, you know. And that's what it's really about, is that we are really a reflection in the mirror of who we are. And if we aren't willing to do the work and show up to do the work, we can't be of value, because our story is what we've come into the world, but we can recreate that. And I think that's what you demonstrated really well today, is that we don't have to be a victim.
Right.
And I'm sure you yourself personally and the people that you worked with, we all have a story. It's what switch we're going to turn on. Are we going to be poor victim, poor is me? Or are we going to be victorious?
Yeah.
Tell the audience a little about what it is to be victorious, as opposed to being the actual victim. And, you know, and blaming everybody for our problems. I think the audience really needs to know a little bit more about that.
I can tell you that being victorious is work. Okay. Again, it's the renewing of the mind. The Bible, and you'll hear me say the Bible a lot. I'm an ordained minister, and I just believe in the principles. I believe that they work. And the Bible talks about, you know, when you be transformed by the renewing of your mind, you begin to take on a total different mindset. And so this is something that has to happen every day if you're going to be a victor.
Yes.
I cannot tell you that I've gone through all these years and now I'm just happy-go-lucky. No, there's days when I get down. And when those days come, I really have to fight. You have to find strategies that work for you, though. I love music. Sometimes music doesn't work. Sometimes music does work.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just need to talk to a friend. You know, sometimes that works. Sometimes that does not work. Sometimes I need to do yoga. Sometimes I need to exercise. Sometimes I need to take a walk. Whatever. Sometimes I need to pray. Sometimes I just need to cry.
Exactly.
It's okay to cry. It's okay to allow your emotions to flow. And so I can tell you that being victorious is really something that you take on within, greater than an emotion. It's a knowing, a knowing who you are, knowing that we're more than conquerors, you know, knowing that we're here with purpose, for purpose, living on purpose, you know, through the power of the Holy Spirit. When you recognize that and you embrace that, I believe you become more victorious than you can imagine.
Well, Miss T, you did an excellent job of just demonstrating and sharing with people. Because let's face it, I think most people have no idea where to begin and where to start. And you really took people through that process. And I just want to thank you so much for doing that and being on Faces of Compassion blog show today. And if you could just, absolutely, if you could share with the audience of how they could get a hold of you by email, by phone, if you could let people know how they could reach you.
You can always reach me by Facebook. I'm TaChunda Burks. The business is Road to Damascus Behavioral Consulting. You can find that on Facebook. You can email me, R2, the number, D as in dog, Burks, B-U-R-K-S, @AOL.com. That's R2D Burks @AOL.com. I won't give out my phone number unless you're a client or you want to be a client. You can email me and then we'll go from there.
Excellent. Well, Ms. T, I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Yes.
And again, thank you so much for watching Faces of Compassion blog show. And also to let the guests, if they want to reach me, they can reach me at 602-888-3502. Or you can email me at brett.getros, that's G-E-T-R-O-S-T, @gmail.com. Again, thanks for watching Faces of Compassion blog show. Have a great day. Bye-bye.